In this video, we'll figure out how to put this 3-view drawing onto a drafting page using drafting instruments. So in this case, there are 3 views. There's a top view, front view, and right side view, which are pretty common when learning drafting. And you notice they're laid out a specific way. The front view lines up with the top view perfectly. Even all the features line up perfectly, etc. And the front view also lines up horizontally with the right side view. Everything lines up perfectly. So if the height is 39 millimeters in the front view, then the height of the object in the right side view is 39 millimeters. Now, the right side view and the top view also line up. If you were to take an imaginary line, project it from the front side in the right side view, and then imagine a line from the front side and top view, where they intersect, if you were to draw a 45-degree line, that line can be used to transfer information from the right side to the top view, or from the top view to the right side view. And so, for instance, if you're looking for this point, this feature in the right side view, the technique would be to draw a line across where it intersects the miter line, then you draw down and you find the point there. So they should line up perfectly if that's a 45-degree angle. In essence, you're making squares because if the distance from the front to the back is 58 millimeters, if it's 58 millimeters here, 58 millimeters there, it's making a square. And of course, squares have a line corner to corner, will be at 45 degrees. So every feature can be transferred between views using this thing called a miter line at 45 degrees. All right. This actually has a couple mistakes in the way it printed out. This line in the top view, which shows the feature, this cutout in the bottom, this should actually be, and so should that one, they should be hidden lines, which are dashes. It could be just the line scale is off on the CAD drawing and that needs to be fixed. And the same thing on the right side view. Actually, no, the right side view is correct for the vertical lines, which describe these corners, but it is incorrect for the horizontal lines. So the bottom of this cutout feature and the top of this cutout feature, these should also be hidden lines. Sorry about that. All right. So the way I would get a student to put this onto a page is to figure out its overall length and the overall height of the of all the views, and I would get them just to sketch it on a piece of scrap paper. And I don't there's no need to make them exactly the same shape and to sketch out exactly what they look like. I just use boxes that would indicate where they are. And so that was using a 4H pencil, which you probably can't see. So let's go back and make those darker using H pencil. But you know, it's not, we're actually not doing drawing. We're just figuring out how we're gonna get it onto the page in the center. So don't have to be fancy here. And really a sketch can take you like 20 seconds if you're moving quickly. And so now I just put on some extension lines from the objects to show overall sizes. And I don't know what they are yet until I start doing some calculations. And so I will figure out the length of this object is in the front view. It's 140. I put that number here and it's from there to there. And then the width of the object here, or the depth, will be 58. So I write that in here, and that's from here to here. These are tick marks commonly seen in architectural drawings. And for the space between the views, I like to keep them same between the front and right side view as the distance between the front and the top view. And for a lot of drawings, I find 40 millimeters is nice. It gives you enough space to put some dimensions in. And then when you look at the vertical or the height total, first of all, front view, its height is 39, so I'm gonna write that in. Once again, I'll put some lines in for the dimension lines. So that'll be 39 millimeters. The space, keep it at 40, the same as here. And then the depth of the object is 58 again, which is right there. So no, the depth 58, the depth 58. That's the way it goes. Then we work out the total size and or so the total height and the total width of the whole thing. So 140 plus 40 is 180, plus 58 should be 238. So that's the number we're going to use when we start putting it onto the drawing page itself. For this one, we have 39 plus 40 is 79, plus 58 is, what, 87, 137? So I'll need to divide this by 2 and that by 2 to figure out how it's going to go on onto a drawing page. So we'll find the center, we'll put half the length, we'll find a line, we'll do the same thing the other way. And then from the center of the drawing page, we will locate where, you know, half the height is up and half the height down. And it'll form a box that will fit all 3 views in. So let's go to the page now. I already found the center. And I know that the total length is going to be 238. So half of that is 115 plus 4, 119. So with the proper scale from the center, I want it to be on 119. This is going to fill the page, which is fine. So I put that on 119 and I mark it at 0. And I should be using a harder pencil now. And 238. All right, and then I can draw vertical lines there. I'll use my bigger set square. So there's a construction line there and a construction line here. And then I will do the same thing up and down, but now it's going to be half of 137. So that's 65 plus 3.5, so 68.5. We'll get my numbers right. I'm doing it quite quickly. 137. And then we'll do horizontal construction lines there. And this creates a box which all 3 views fit in, and it is centered on the drawing page. All right. So the next step, we'll look at where features are, well, the length of the object and the different views. We'll put some marks, draw some vertical lines for all the features that fall along vertical lines in the drawing. And then we'll do the same thing, measuring up from the bottom of the drawing. We'll locate where features are, etc., and we'll draw lines across. So I'll pause the video and I'll do some of those construction lines.